missed his last 2.
BYU has also shot the battle ball much better from the field in the second half.
Willie Richardson in for New Orleans. And Gabe Corchiani goes out of the game.
Richardson gives some added quickness.
1 for 2 for Yusevich. He's scored 6 this afternoon. 73-72 BYU and 5:15 left.
And Nathan Call, since re-entering the game in this second half, has done a nice job hawking the ball for the BYU Cougars.
Outside, it is Irving. Richardson. Low to Jones. Now the three-pointer by Irving. Rebound to Smith.
What a great block out by Smith. He was matched up against Grandison, who's killed BYU on the boards, on the offensive boards in particular throughout the game. But that time Smith did a great job blocking him out.
Inside, Chapman lays it off, no good. Just trying to finger roll it into the bucket, and it wouldn't drop for him. Eccles.
Oh my.
Gets his own rebound. Puts it back up and off. And Chapman there to clear it for BYU.
That's some tough shot selection right there.
Cole, a runner. Got it. Nathan's first bucket of the afternoon, and BYU leads by 3.
This could be close to 5 seconds.
Inside, Grandison banks it home. He's got 14. 75-74 BYU. 4 minutes remaining in the game. Smith. He's warmed up considerably here in the second half. Oh, what a shot. Take it away. No basket. Player control foul on Michael Smith.
Smith clearly leaned in on that particular play. And that's a tough shot by Smith. That was under some heavy defensive pressure. Here you get a chance to see him spin here. Sam Jones staying right with him. He leans into Sam Jones. That's why it's a hard job to be an official right there. I'll tell you what, Bob, that could have gone either way.
Just an incredible shot by Smith to bank it in with all that contact.
And Yusevich working real hard inside trying to keep the ball away from Grandison.
Three-pointer, in and out, no good by Jones. BYU rebound. Cougars lead 75-74, 3 minutes, 25 seconds left in the game. Three-pointer by Smith.
That's a bad shot. That's a bad shot. There's no reason in that situation for Smith to be shooting that, but Smith feels it.
He is as hot now as he was cold in the first half.
And Yusevich is really battling Grandison. Grandison 44, Yusevich 52. If you want to watch something off the ball, watch those two guys.
Of course, Grandison playing with 4 fouls, has to be careful. Irving bumped and fouled inside.
And it's a block, and it's against Chapman, and so not only is that going to be a good basket and an opportunity for Irving to go to the line, but that's going to be Chapman's 5th personal foul.
Jeff Chapman fouls out of the game, scoring 25, 4 off a career high as he returns to his home state. Played a marvelous game and gets a standing O from the Brigham Young fans who made the trip to Birmingham.
Great play by Corchiani. Draws Chapman, and that's Chapman's man right there, Irving, that's able to catch the ball and get it up to the basket. Chapman had to step to Corchiani to stop Corchiani's penetration. Now watch this here. Corchiani penetrates. There's Chapman. Now Chapman is trying to get back, but once again, the quickness of the Privateers from New Orleans paying off. Chapman not there in time.
So Eldon Irving gets the bucket. He's got 5. Now goes to the line. 2:59 left. New Orleans back on top, 76-75. And Irving, 69% at the line. Benny Dees makes a change. Terrence Belloc coming back in. And Irving goes out.
Well, now, if you're BYU and you've battled so hard to come back in this basketball game, the one thing you don't want to do is suddenly get down 4 or 6 points and have to start all over with the comeback with under 3 minutes left in the game. So it's important that BYU get a good look at the basket.
Smith. Oh, what a move. Missed the shot and the rebound. Pulling it down Grandison after Richardson controlled it.
Once again, that's not very good offensive patience. It was an impressive looking move by Smith, but the bottom line on it is that he missed the shot.
2:30 remaining. BYU
trying to apply a lot of pressure, and once again,
here's Here's a miss inside by Bellick, and the rebound to Smith.
Yusevich and Grandison really going at one another.
Now we have a whistle, and BYU takes a timeout. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the game. The Privateers of New Orleans, the 16th ranked team in the country, with a 2-point lead over the Cougars of BYU, 77-75.
And you have to be impressed with the way that Brigham Young has come back in the basketball game. You wouldn't think that down 13 points, which is as far behind as they got, that they would really be able to orchestrate a comeback playing man-to-man against the University of New Orleans. New Orleans is quicker at just about every position. But as I say, you've got to give Brigham Young some credit because they played very aggressively in that man-to-man defense. They forced some turnovers. They've certainly defended against the three-point shot much better in the second half. And I think that aggressiveness on defense carried over on the offensive end and actually helped BYU to shoot much better in the second half from the field than they did in the first.
New Orleans has hit 8 of 14 from three-point range. BYU 1 of 5.
New Orleans, however, was 6 of 9 in the first half. So not only has BYU defended a little better in terms of lowering that percentage down to 40, but New Orleans hasn't been open for as many shots. They haven't had as many three-point opportunities.
They gave you the three-point shooting numbers. Those are the percentages. The Cougars, with a three-point shot, would get the lead back here. They're 2 down, 77-75, and 2:12 remaining in the game.
BYU getting set to throw the basketball in here. They had a turnover early in the game by playing around with that mid-court line. Nathan Call's got to make sure he gets all the way in the backcourt before he catches the ball. Last thing in the world you want is an over and back call here.
BYU lobs it in. And here's Nathan Call.
And this is a big series for BYU.
Foul inside, and it's going to be on Brigham Young and Yusevich, who is battling Grandison.
We've been talking about the battle between Yusevich and Grandison down on the offensive end of the New Orleans Privateers. Carries over up here with Grandison on defense. Yusevich gets the call against him, and that's a tough break for BYU.
Liddell Echols will be the man going to the foul line. And misses the front end of a 1-and-1.
We said that's not a strong point for the University of New Orleans.
There are the timeouts remaining in this game. Paul nearly turns it over. Inside it goes. Yusevich hangs on, puts it up and in, and we got a tie game.
Yusevich did a great job not only to control that basketball, but then to get his feet set so he could get it up on the board. That's just a great play by Yusevich.
All even at 77 and a minute 40 left. Here's a lob inside to Grandison, and he's fouled by Yusevich. And with that, Jimmy is fouled out of the game.
And that's the second inside guy for BYU to go to the bench with 5 personal fouls. And tell me that Grandison is not important to the University of New Orleans inside. When he has been in the game, it's just been very, very difficult to defense him, and Yusevich gets called for that foul.
Liddell Echols gets a lot of ink, Dan, but Ronnie Grandison makes it go. Yusevich joining Jeff Chapman in the disqualification category with 5 fouls.
And Yusevich did a heck of a job coming off the bench.
Now there's a whistle, and BYU's Tom Knighting is checking into the game officially. And a run by the scores team. And now Ronnie Grandison steps up to the line.
And Grandison's been very effective from the free throw line today. That's
his 15th point. (78-77) New Orleans. A minute 35 left. Missed it. And the rebound to Brian Taylor. The BYU, one of 3 Western Athletic Conference teams to qualify for the NCAA. Trying to pull it out here in Birmingham.
And interestingly enough for BYU, Nathan Pollard has the ball now. Good pass over to Knighting, and Brian Taylor played the whole second half at guard.
Stevenson missing. Smith battles for it. New Orleans got it. Poked out of bounds by Knighting, and it belongs to New Orleans with 1:10 left.
I thought Smith had Michael Smith from BYU had that rebound, but Ronnie Grandison was able to wrestle it away from him, and Liddell Anderson's going to call a timeout.
1:10 to play in the game. There's a timeout on the court with the score. New Orleans 78 and Brigham Young 77.
Only 10.
Coordinator Grant Singleton, from BYU athletic director Glenn Tuckett, head basketball coach Liddell Anderson and his staff, and assistant sports information director Val Hale. From UNO, athletic director Ron Maestri, head basketball coach Benny Dees and his staff, and sports information director Mike Bujo. Transportation arrangements made through Fugazi International Travel, the official travel agency for NCAA championships. Foul on BYU.
As a reach-in foul against Taylor, he thought he had Corciani going the other way, and he went down to reach in and get the ball. Corciani surprised him by turning back and coming right into it. Now, he thinks Corciani's going the other way, and so he reaches down to steal the ball, and it was that reach-in that called the foul.
Second foul on Taylor. Coming back in the ball game for BYU, Bob Capner, and Taylor goes out. And free throws for Gabe Corciani, whose brother Chris was named to the McDonald's All-America team today. And brother Chris will be in the ACC next year, playing for NC State. Gabe hits his free shot, and that puts the Privateers up to 79-77. 53 seconds remaining.
And for New Orleans, that's the guy you want on the free throw line.
88% shooter, Gabe Corciani. 80-77. New Orleans leading.
Oh, that's good defense. That's great defense by New Orleans.
And Grandison takes it away. 40 seconds left.
That's going to be important that Corciani and Eccles try to hold on to the basketball because they're the two best free throw shooters out there. Shot clock's off. 25 seconds left in the game.
Corciani in a double team, and a foul is called on Nathan Cole. And Corciani has got a 1-and-1. Bob Rathman and Dan Bonner in Birmingham, Alabama, the Privateers of New Orleans, who held a 13-point lead in the second half. BYU came back to take the lead, but now 23 seconds remain, and New Orleans with a three-point advantage, 80-77. And a man at the free throw line who ranks 14th in the country in terms of percentage at 88%, Gabe Corciani, trying to wrap this one up for New Orleans. That's his 9th point of the game, and Benny Dean's club now leads 81-77.
And overall, New Orleans a very poor free throw shooting team, so you've got to give them some credit. They kept the ball in the hands of Eccles and of Corciani, their two best free throw shooters.
Gabe missed that one. Rebound to BYU. Up the floor, here's Bob Capner with it. BYU trailing by 4. Smith's an excellent three-point shooter. Short on that one. The rebound lost. BYU's got it inside. Knighting missing. Tipped by Smith.
And BYU has no timeouts.
And all alone down the floor is Liddell Eccles for New Orleans for the jam to put it away. The Privateers advance. New Orleans wins it. 83-79 over BYU. For Dan Bonner, this is Bob Rathman saying so long from the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center. Once again, the final score, New Orleans 83 and Brigham Young 79. This has been